As a cultural icon, Ultraman has been referenced and inspired many different medias. Ranging from the subtle to the most obvious, Ultraman has inspired many different medias. And while it would be fun to talk about these references and inspirations in medias that happen to be inspired by Ultraman, I'll leave it up to the professionals like Blue Nova and Zhenjie Zhao, since they've done a much better job on talking about the influences Ultraman had on pop culture media than I ever could. But anyways, I want to talk about two different medias that were clearly inspired by Ultraman, that being Neon Genesis Evangelion and Pacific Rim, and more importantly, how they changed the future of the Ultraman franchise. Now, I'm sure that most of you are asking, how in the world did Pacific Rim and Evangelion help change the future of the Ultraman franchise? Well, it's very simple. The simple answer to that is Tsuburaya loves to pay respects to their fans. You see, unlike most other companies, Tsuburaya is actually one of the few companies that will actually pay respects to their fans. They listen to their fans, they love their fans, and they love to show their appreciation for the fans. Of course, not individually, but as a whole, they do show their love to their fans. As evidently shown in this video here, where the Ultramen are speaking different languages, saying thank you to their fans. And two of the biggest fans of the Ultraman franchises happen to be the Evangelion creator, Hideaki Anno, and Pacific Rim's director, Guillermo del Toro. As evidently shown in their works, with Evangelion having a lot of references to Ultraman, as well as Pacific Rim basically being a love letter to tokusatsu as a whole. The former of which actually got to work with Tsuburaya as the writer and producer of Shin Ultraman. And while he never actually got to work with Tsuburaya, Tsuburaya still paid tribute to Guillermo del Toro through Ultraman X Episode 5 with a planet called Planet Guillermo. So it's very clear that Tsuburaya had a massive respect for these two. So much so that it wouldn't be that far of a stretch to say that Hideaki Anno and Guillermo del Toro's work on Evangelion and Pacific Rim have helped influence Tsuburaya into actually making an attack team that uses giant monsters, starting with Ultraman Z. Now, I'm well aware of the massive date gap between Ultraman Z and those two projects, especially with Neon Genesis Evangelion premiering on 1995. But I wanted to clarify a few things. One, it's possible that Tsuburaya never even heard of Evangelion. Because despite it being fairly popular, Evangellion and many other animes never really took off in popularity until later on in the 2010s when the internet really took off into a much bigger platform, as well as us growing a lot older. And Tsuburaya wasn't really using much of the internet until way later on in the 2010s. 2. Tsuburaya was dealing with a lot of money trouble back then, as their series like Ultraman X's and Ultraman Max proven to not be very successful to the audience, along with their long legal battle against Chayo, leading to a long hiatus of no Ultraman series until Ultraman Ginga in 2013, and a roller coaster of a history of having either an attack team, no attack team, or having an attack team in the background. But after their victory against Chayo in the lawsuit battle, Tsuburaya partnered up with Mill Creek in order to create Blu-rays for the US, and it proved to be a success for Tsuburaya. So much so that, you guessed it, they used the concept of an attack team using giant robots to fight giant monsters for their next Ultraman series, Ultraman Z, with Sevenger. And third, while the idea of using giant robots to fight giant monsters isn't exactly original to Pacific Rim and Evangelion, in fact it's been used multiple times, including by Tsuburaya themselves, it's never been utilized to the fullest extent by Tsuburaya. Until 3 years ago with Ultraman Z. And that was during the time when Hideaki Anno and Tsuburaya were actually working together to create the Shin Ultraman movie. As for Guillermo del Toro, you gotta remember that 5 years ago before Ultraman Z, so not too long ago, Tsuburaya actually did pay tribute to Guillermo del Toro with Planet Guillermo from Ultraman X. Now, of course, I may be just talking rubbish, and that all of this is just a mere coincidence. But I still wanted to theorize the possibility that Tsuburaya actually did create stories from Ultraman Z out of love and respect, as well as a tribute to two of their biggest fans and their works. And it's pretty clear on how these two properties have actually influenced the Ultraman franchise's future as a whole, as there are more and more giant robots in the future, such as Nasdese from Ultraman Trigger and Ultraman Decker, and most recently Earth's Garon from Ultraman Blazar. Of course, the idea of storage could have also been inspired by shows like Giant Robo, Daitetsujin 17, and of course, Super Sentai. But I mainly wanted to bring up these two since their creators and directors were the ones that actually had the biggest respect given from Tsuburaya. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please leave a like, comment down below if you believe in my theory or not, and subscribe to the channel for more of this content. And if you want to, please support me over on Patreon. Alright, that's enough for me for today, and as always, I'll see you guys in another random time. See ya!